All right, here we go again with another PlayStation Pro thing. Now, let's see if GameStop, a journalist, so-called journalist, can prove to me why I should get a PlayStation. That's what it said. Why it matters. Why does a PlayStation Pro matter at $700? Flipping hell! I just spent $700 on four tires that's needed. $775 for tires, which is ridiculous. I bought the same sons of bitches, same exact tires for $493 in 2023. Man, that inflation ain't no joke. Anyway, and yes, I get it. Inflation, tires, yes. Anyway, let's get into this. That's what GameStop's talking about. Let's see if GameStop is giving me rational reasoning or BS.
PlayStation headquarters with an exclusive hands-on of Sony's brand new PlayStation 5 Pro console that's coming out in November. Yes, I got to play a bunch of games on it. Here's what's going on. Okay. It's been 4 years since Sony released the PlayStation 5, which went by pretty fast in the middle of a pandemic. But the idea of next generation kind of lingers in my head and probably for a lot of people. When do you buy a console? Well, Sony has had mid-range console upgrades in the past. The PlayStation 4 Pro came out 3 years after the PlayStation 4. And lo and behold, the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out 4 years after the PlayStation 5. For $699, you're paying more, but not too much tremendously more compared to the PlayStation 5 that is already on the market and has an upgraded, slimmer version.
Okay.
Compared side by side, it's also not that much larger. In fact, it's a little bit smaller than the PlayStation 5 original, which is a nice surprise because the PlayStation 4 Pro was definitely bigger and thicker. What do you get? Well, there's no optical drive. You have to buy that separately. You can use the same optical drive that's available on the slim model and pop it in. And also, it may be that a lot of people...
Wait. You telling me I'm paying $700 and still no optical drive? What the? Seriously, Sony? And I did a video of their video, so, but it's just like, I'm getting more the details because I was just watching it and let Mark Cerny turn. There was questions I wanted to ask, but I was like, yeah, I'll let it be. But what?
Choose to prefer the digital version now, considering that there's also Wi-Fi 7, and the size of the drive is now bumped up to 2 terabytes, which is the same speed as the SSD.
Whoopie flippin' do is this 2 terabytes? These games are large. It still don't make no damn flipping difference. Good grief. 2 terabytes. Woo. Whoopee. Yay. I literally had to put a 4 terabyte in my PlayStation for my games. I'm nowhere close to getting to what it is, but I know that it will last me as much for the games I'm buying because you still got to install the flipping game. Even Astrobots I had to install, which is a stupid notion. Just give me the damn games. I still will buy physical because I have the key. If the internet's gone, I could still play the game for what PlayStation is doing right now. That I'll do.
In the previous models. Same CPU too, but the GPU is a lot beefier. It's supposed to be 67% more powerful and 38% faster, and it's going to provide better performance for all the games and a lot more things like ray tracing. There's also a big focus on upgrading the resolution of existing games. PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution is the technology that uses an AI neural upscaling using a convolutional neural network to basically just make sure the games play really nicely in 4K. And speaking of 4K, existing PlayStation 5 games, they always had 2 modes, which was either 1080p, 60 frames per second, or 4K at 30 frames per second. Sony's now offering a Pro mode that glues both of those together, and so you're getting both 60 frames per second and 4K. Now, that's exactly what I would have wanted to play in the first place. If you're interested in doing things like 8K gaming, or you want to do things like 120 frames per second, there are capabilities for games to do that, but those are going to be on a game-by-game basis. The real push here is for really nice 4K 60 frame per second across the board for your entire library. What does this mean for the future of PlayStation? I got to talk to Mark Cerny, lead systems architect for PlayStation, and Hideaki Nishina-san, CEO of Platform for Sony Interactive Entertainment. They talked about how, in a lot of ways, PC gaming right now is providing a kind of an on-ramp for some of these technologies, but also allowing Sony to lead a bit with some things like ray tracing, where they're using an AMD-developed ray tracing technology that isn't even in existing GPUs. Some of that will kind of ride ahead, and other things, like maybe more advanced graphics graphics that you might be used to on PCs will finally have a chance to come over to PlayStation 5 Pro.
Piece of
And
it,
as a
not
lot
all
of
of
games
it.
now are increasingly cross-platform and Sony's games live on PCs, you'll probably see much more of that cross-pollination.
So why do I need to buy a PlayStation Pro now? Why I gotta pay $700 more plus $85, $100 more, give or take, plus still gotta buy terabyte so I can have storage for the big games when I could get the same thing on a PC for less than this shit and more spaces. What? Am I missing something here?
Clearly a fidelity push for people who may have really big TVs or really big AV lovers and want something that either looks the best it can be or runs really smoothly. On the big screens that I played on, you could definitely see the difference, but if you're a PlayStation 5 owner, I think you could also be fine continuing to play the PlayStation 5. There are going to be about 50
Yep.
games that come out at launch with upgrades specifically for the PS5 Pro. Now, while a lot of them...
Okay, that's kind of false to point it out. At launch. At launch of what? There's no games that are coming out at launch to this thing. Y'all just upres and stuff like that. And here's the thing. I'm not against it because, again, hopefully Nintendo's console could do something close to that. You don't need to. But something close to the new console. And also backwards capability with the carts. I think that will be a dumb move if Nintendo takes that cart backwards capability out of the carts. It will be a stupid move. But again, I digress.
Involve the introduction of this new Pro mode that will be able to run at a smooth 60 frames per second and 4K performance. There are going to be others that do other things. It could be graphic upgrades to the environment, more people in the environment. So that's a console. Let's go play the games. This is Sony's PlayStation.
Okay, and here we got the weakest part of PlayStation 5. Sorry, it is. They don't have a lot of exclusives. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Demo room where I got to try out the PlayStation 5 Pro on a bunch of games in two different setups. The first one got to play on two different monitors, checking out a whole bunch of games on the PlayStation 5 and then the PlayStation 5 Pro, looking at the two different play modes, fidelity and performance on the 5, and then the Pro mode on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's Horizon Forbidden West. And then I got to play a few games on a big 80-inch screen, including Gran Turismo 7, which has an 8K mode, or alternately, one with ray tracing turned on, which is what I've got right here. I mean, this is obviously the version I would want to play. It is... The reflections and ray tracing are beautiful. I got really into playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I love games like this. What's really fun is that it's just such a fast game, and I feel like the Pro makes it feel faster.
Really?
So I'm grabbing one controller that's connected to a PS5, playing on a PS5 for a bit, and then I would jump back and forth between that and a PS5 Pro to see what it's like. This is the 4K 30 frames per second version of Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm used to and looks really good. But what looks even better is playing it 4K 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, which looks buttery smooth and really crisp. So, it is like going back and playing it on the 30 frames. It's kind of hard to do because this looks really nice. Unfortunately, Sony didn't let it.
The thing that kills with some gamers, because now it's tech media do the exact same thing in most people. Oh, 60, 30 frames per second. Whatever. Again, certain games take advantage of the 60%. A lot of games really do not. I've seen people like turn-based games and strategy thing. I'm like, oh, we need 60 frames per second. No, you do not. No, you do not. You don't. Stop it. Stop it. Here's the thing. Can a game play? Is it fun? Is it and does it bring me into the world? Yes, I know more graphics does that stuff, but again, you could use art style to create great thing. Valkyrie Chronicles, it brings me into that world. Why? Because the art style blend is so good. It's not a graphical technologically feat, but it looks good and it brings me in, and it don't breaks my immersion. Same thing what I would say with Astro Bot, Mario Odyssey, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, it doesn't break it because that's what the people created for that situation. Even Bakaru, which is a game for the Switch, and I'm like, okay, And also, yeah, people who are Astrobot lovers. Like I said, I'm an Astrobot lover. That game is good. I like it. But again, the only reason why a lot of PlayStation people are hyping that game up because they don't have a lot of exclusive that everybody's like, oh my god, I got like this. No. And we don't need to have everything on a Nintendo console. But anyway.
Do any direct capture of the PlayStation 5 Pro during our demos at Sony's headquarters. And they didn't let us do any close-up, real extended looks at the gameplay on screen either. But hopefully you can get an understanding of what I'm talking about for when the system debuts on November 7th. What does this mean for the future of next-gen gaming? Well, that's hard to tell because we're not maybe fully in next-gen gaming yet, but we're getting there by increments. PlayStation 5 Pro is the hottest of the new gaming technology tech that we've seen, and it's adopting some ideas that PC gaming still doesn't have yet. It'll be really interesting to see where games start to evolve and get better along with PS5 Pro graphics, but also where the PS5 Pro ray tracing and all of that tech begins to hint at where technology is going to be headed for PC gaming to come. Not everyone's going to want to upgrade to this, but I'm really curious about what games are going to start looking like on the hardware. We'll find out in November. Thanks for watching.
T-Mobile savings.
Okay, so that's what it is. Okay. Why does it matter? It doesn't matter. You didn't prove your point. Sorry, you didn't make me think, oh, I gotta go, how to go buy this console. Technically speaking, you made me more resilient that I'm happy I bought the original PlayStation. No, I got the original PlayStation 5. At least that one, I gotta worry about other crap. I don't gotta worry about my CD drive is connected to the PlayStation. It's simple. It's whatever. Is it? I put on more places. You go see a video done about it. Yeah, it's not worth it. But again, your money. You do what you want to do with your money. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'll catch y'all next time. Remember, this is another. This is. Lego, 1/2 Enduro. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect. You simply enjoy your games on all consoles and PC. All right, like, subscribe, share the content, and again, please join in for a lot of more of the Game and Chill. Again, you can talk to me there, and we can have more conversations about anything, and we just chit chat about all kind of things. All right. With that said, peace out. Catch y'all later.